Welcome to Daniel in the Lion's Den, a Bible story of courage, faith, and divine protection. Meet Daniel, a man of unwavering faith and integrity. Despite living in a foreign land ruled by King Darius, Daniel remained steadfast in his devotion to God. Daniel always prayed to God every day and followed his commandments. King Darius really liked Daniel because he was wise, honest, and very good at his job. His fellow officials admired his wisdom and honesty, but envy brewed in the hearts of some. The king decided to make Daniel one of his most trusted advisors, which made some of his other advisors very jealous. Daniel's enemies conspired against him, seeking to undermine his influence and power. They devised a cunning plan to trap him, knowing that his commitment to God will not waver. Despite the looming threat, Daniel remained steadfast in his faith. He continued to pray to God 3 times a day, just as he always did. His trust in the Almighty gave him strength in the face of adversity. The advisors approached King Darius with a devious plan and tricked him into making a law which said that nobody could pray to any god or person except the king for 30 days. Anyone who disobeyed this law would be thrown into a den filled with hungry lions. Unaware of their true motives, the king agrees and signs the decree into law. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day, and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days, defying the king's command. His actions did not go unnoticed, and when the advisors found out, they ran to the king and told him that Daniel was breaking the law. And they went before the king, and spoke concerning the king's decree. Have you not signed a decree that every man who petitions any god or man within 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, The thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. So the advisors answered and said before the king, That Daniel, who is one of the captives from Judah, does not show due regard for you, O king, or for the decree that you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day. Filled with rage, King Darius realized that he has been deceived by Daniel's enemies. Despite his deep admiration for Daniel, the king was bound by his own decree and reluctantly gave the command, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. But the king spoke, saying to Daniel, Your God, whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. As Daniel was lowered into the dark pit, he placed his trust in God's hands. Now the king went to his palace and spent the night fasting, and no musicians were brought before him. Also his sleep went from him. But instead of Daniel being torn apart by hungry lions, something miraculous happens. An angel of the Lord appears, shutting the mouths of the lions and protecting Daniel from harm. The next morning, King Darius rushes to the lion's den, fearing the worst. And when he came to the den, he cried out with a lamenting voice to Daniel. The king spoke, saying to Daniel, Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions? Then Daniel said to the king, O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths, so that they have not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him. And also, O king, I have done no wrong before you. Now the king was exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no injury whatever was found on him, because he believed in his God. The king then declared that from that day on everyone in his kingdom should worship Daniel's God, the one true God. Daniel continued to be faithful to God all his life. He became a wise advisor to King Darius and helped make the kingdom a better place. People throughout the kingdom admired him for his bravery and his strong faith in God. And so ends the tale of Daniel in the lion's den, a story of faith triumphing over fear and the power of God's protection. As we bid farewell to the ancient city of Babylon, let us remember the lessons of courage and trust that Daniel's story teaches us. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye, friends.